US lawmakers have accused Martin Shkreli, a former pharmaceutical executive, of depriving poor Americans from obtaining access to life-saving drugs. Shkreli sparked outrage last year after the company he founded raised the price of an AIDS drug by 5,000%. Well, during a hearing, Congressman Elijah Cummings pleaded with Shkreli to get pharmaceutical companies to drop their prices.
I truly believe. Are you listening?
Yes.
Thank you. I truly believe you could become a force of tremendous good. Of course, you can ignore this if you like, but all I ask is that you reflect on it. No, I don't ask, Mr. Shkreli, I beg that you reflect on it. There's so many people that could use your help.
Okay, TRT World's senior business producer Azhar Sukri is here to tell us more. Azhar, this is fascinating because this man has been described as one of the most hated men in America. Tell us a bit more about him and what he's done wrong.
Yeah, he certainly has become a symbol for corporate greed in America. I mean, it surrounds his company, or former company, I should say, Turing Pharmaceutical, which he was the CEO of. Turing bought the rights to Daraprim. Daraprim is a drug used to combat toxoplasmosis. Toxoplasmosis is a condition that can be fatal in AIDS sufferers and cancer patients. As you mentioned there, when Turing bought Daraprim, they raised the cost of it 5,000%. Massive impact there on patients, as you can imagine, suffering from this condition. And this has sparked a whole debate around, healthcare in America. I mean, Americans pay more per capita for healthcare than anywhere else on the planet. This hearing that we just heard from is part of an investigation into the rising cost of healthcare. Elijah Cummings, who you heard there, described it as blood money. Very strong terms for what Mr. Shkreli has been doing, coming out of the pockets of hardworking Americans. And it didn't stop at the hearing. After the hearing, Martin Shkreli, who we heard pleading the Fifth Amendment, went off and he tweeted calling the people on this panel imbeciles. So he obviously doesn't believe he's done anything wrong.
So very, very much dismissive of of these claims. I mean, so what about the companies involved? I mean, what are they saying in their defense?
Yeah, I mean, in their defense, I mean, actually Turing's other executive, Nancy Retzloff, she said that the company reinvests a lot of this money into more research and development to help save lives. The company has also come out and said that, in fact, it's not the consumer, the end consumer, that is ending up paying for this, that it's, in fact, the insurance companies and the hospitals that are taking the burden of the increase. But actually, it doesn't quite work that way because under the insurance schemes that patients have, they still end up paying more for this drug, far more, in fact. And it's not just this drug and this company. Valiant was also part of this hearing. We heard from them as well. Its interim CEO said that, they raised the price of two cardiac drugs, one by 500%, another by 200%. And they said, well, this is all part of the industry norm, really.
Doesn't sound very normal to me. Many thanks for that. Azhar Sukri, TRT World's senior business producer.